Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, what I think's going to happen, my predictions. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that from time to time. If you're new to this channel, my question is, uh, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. It has been a bit of a better week. Much better than last week, which in my opinion was a complete snooze fest. So there was some shenanigans and what have you going on, but overall, as I said, bit of a better week. So we're going to get into some disclaimers and then we're going to kind of get right into it. But before I get into my disclaimer, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so kind of you if you hit that like and subscribe button and smash the bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. And share. Why? Because sharing is caring. At least I like to think so. Anyway, if you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on it your own, this might not be what you want to see or hear. However, I am so grateful that you are here. So, if I happen to forget anything, it could be because I plumb forgot or it just wasn't newsworthy. It's the nature of the beast. It is what it is. So there's lots to talk about. We'll try and condense it as much as possible, and let's get right into it. Who should we talk about first? Okay, so we're going to talk about Kyle and Audra with Tucker and Ashley, and that is a whole set of mess, okay? So basically, Audra has a conversation with Tucker. They're at the club. And, I think it happened last week where Tucker ran off to Ashley because Ashley was at the club and saw him having a conversation with Audra, and she starts to tear on out of there. Tucker runs after her, and it's back to this whole what happened in Paris. Remember there was this block of time I kept saying, what happened in Paris? Did I miss it? Did I fall asleep? What's going on? And now we are inundated with this same scene of Paris from Ashley's perspective and from Tucker's perspective. And I'm Team Tucker. I believe that Ashley has gone a little loopity-loop and she has drummed up whatever in her mind, and I don't know, like nobody can tell her different. Okay, so Tucker had gone back to the table with Audra, and basically Ashley is his little Achilles heel, where he would pretty much, he still loves her. As much as he claims he doesn't and he doesn't want anything to do with her, like he basically told Audra, yeah, like she is, the only one that I would ever have true feelings for, that kind of thing. So now Audra, she's like, me. She's kind of feeling thrown under the bus and, kind of swept under the rug, cast aside. And she's like, look, I got to look after my own self, because she's like, look, Tucker, am I getting Jabot or what? And he's like, I don't know. And she just basically was like, I'm done with you. Like, I can't. Go run after your little Ashley. Do what you have to do. Just leave me out of it. Like, I'm done. Well, anyway, somehow within that time, she ends up telling Tucker about Kyle's plan, to basically sideswipe Tucker. Okay. Like, whatever. So Tucker finds this information out, and also Kyle finds this information out. And he basically had told his father, Jack, that, oh my goodness, Audra has sold me out, and Tucker knows, and oh my goodness, what we're going to do. Well, Jack's like, look, at this point, 'tis what it is. Like, let's just let sleeping dogs lie where they may. Let Tucker go about his business. And you know what? It was a gallant effort, son, but let's just move on. Well, Kyle is not having it. He was not having it. So he toddles on over and to Audra, and he's like, why would you do this? How could you do this to me? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, looky here. We are no longer on this, you just show up at my door. I'm done. And, she basically called him like pretty boy. Like, she didn't use those words, but it was something to that effect. Like, you think you're better than me, that kind of attitude. And boy, Audra was hot. She was hot under the collar. And she's like, what's the big deal? Like, whatever. And he's like, I just can't believe that you would do this to me and blah, blah, blah. Kyle, are you that daft? Did you not see the signs? Like, Audra pretty much told you, like, she is out for herself. Like, the only humane moment I saw with Audra was when she was with Nikki and found out about the drinking. And then Audra basically, oh, my nose is itchy, but anyway, this is what happens, no editing. Okay, so Audra had said to Nikki that basically she had grown up with her father as, like someone with the bottle. That was like the only humane moment I have seen with Audra. So Kyle, bam, 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 get it together. How on God's green earth did you not know that she was out for herself? I don't know. So Tucker comes to the room, and I can't remember what he said to Kyle, and it had to do with his father, and it just ruffled him the wrong way, and then bam! Bam! Kyle just knocked him sucker punch. Pew, pew, pew. Probably took a page out of Victor's book or Nick, because hothead Nick, he's quick to punch people out, boy, with a quickness. So maybe he had been watching and Kyle just went off. And Tucker was like, oh. And yeah, he kind of took one and just let him go. And yeah, that was that. Oh, I can't even get through it because I've never seen Kyle that hot-headed. I'm used to Nick doing that kind of stuff, so it kind of threw me off. Anywho, so Tucker, as I said, he just kind of was like, whatever, man. He won't get that opportunity again. They basically are barking up the wrong tree, and I'm going to fix them good. And Audra is kind of left like, whatever. Oh, so that was Kyle and Audra, Ashley, Tucker. However, we not done with Ashley and Tucker and Audra. Well, I'm telling you, it was a mess. Okay, so some point, Tucker and Ashley have well, no, they didn't really have a conversation, come to think of it. No, She met up with Tucker and Audra, and she said that she wanted to speak to Audra. So they were at society, had their little drinky drinks, and they were having the conversation about, you know, Paris. Ashley, are you just going to tell this story to everybody in the hopes that everybody's going to be Team Ashley? It's not happening. Because at one point, she had a conversation with Jack, oh, smiling Jack, about Paris. And Jack's like, what? Tell me what happened. And she's like, well, Tucker just wants to make me feel as though my accounts of what happened in Paris, that they didn't happen, and he, like, I don't know why he's doing this to me. And and Jack's like, whoa. Jack's like, whoa. Well, Tucker is this and Tucker is that, and she's like, but Jackie, I don't know why he would do this. I'm telling the truth. Like, I think she used fear for her life again, whatever. So back to her and Audra. She just basically wanted to kind of, go over this Paris story again. And at the end of it, Audra was like, look here. Tucker may have his ways and whatnot, but his account is completely different than yours. And as much as I know Tucker, he would never be like that, like violent. So I don't know. And she's like, well, it happened. And I'm thinking, okay, so why did you need someone to validate what you were saying? And Audra, of all people, what was this, girl power or something? Okay, Ashley, enough. And I think Tucker had even said, like, maybe you, Ashley, are starting to question, the fact that whatever your account of the story, that it may not have happened. Because, like, you're droning on and on about this. It's like, this is too much. So hopefully we will end this whole what happened in Paris story. Maybe she needs to go and see some, professional assistance. I don't know, but like, every minute, Paris. Okay, so we're done with them. Okay, who should we talk about next? Okay, well, let's talk about Do Gooder Chance and Summer, with a very side plate of Sharon. We'll get back into Sharon shortly. Okay, so basically, again, whatever I thought may have occurred last week actually did occur, where Sharon broke up with Chance. Bravo, Sharon. Bravo. Because I can't tell you that I really like the two of you together. I personally think Chance needs to just be by himself, because he's a danger to himself. Like, he's always getting shot. And I mean, I know he left the force now and he's going to be putting on his corporate his corporate pants now. What? Again, no formal training. I want a job at Chancellor Winters. You can kick Billy to the curb, but and maybe Devon too, because he's a hothead. But again, there's too many hotheads on this show. Okay. So, as you know, Phyllis had basically told Summer, go get your man. That's basically what she told her. So now Summer's like, I'm going to get my man. So she goes and finds Chance at society, and again, of all places, that's where your ex owns. Just saying. So he's sitting there at the bar having whatever passion fruit, guava, and whatever drink. There was a third fruit in there. And she comes up and, oh, Chance. They have their little conversation, but he does not say that Sharon broke up with him. And so Summer basically pushing forward was like, oh no, like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say anything. She decides that she's going to go back to Marquetti and grab Chance some shirts and ties. I don't know. So he's like, you really didn't have to do this. She's like, I get like a deep discount. You get it for free. That's a perk. I get deep discounts. Okay. So she's like, whatever you don't like, take it back to the store. Get what you want, blah, 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 blah. Has anybody seen the Marquetti store? I wonder if it's where Lauren had her old store. But then again, is her old store still there? I don't know. Is Fenmore still there? Because it's still in operation. But remember when Gloria used to work there? It was the best. But anywho, I digress. That was just my own, reminiscing moment. Okay. So at some point throughout this week, pushing forward with their craziness, Chance basically says that him and Sharon have broken up because Sharon was having a launch party for her new company. And Summer had run into him. Where was he? I think he was at the coffee house, apparently going over some Chancellor Winter's notes. Okay, are you familiarizing yourself now, Chance? Just wondering. And she's like, how come you're not at the launch party? You should be there. Sharon needs you, da 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 da. And that's when he basically spilled the beans that they are no longer together, that she broke up with him, and yeah. So I know the light bulb in Summer's brain, ding, it went off. And she was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Time to be about it. But such is life. So we're going to see where that goes. I mean, I personally feel he's going to end up jumping in the sack with her. And yeah, Lil Harrison might have a new daddy. A stepdaddy. Just saying. Okay. So, before we get into to Sharon, let's talk about Nikki Durbin. Again, don't come after me. This is just soap opera land. So don't mind me with my little quips. It's just because of the show. So don't come after me about, as I said, about alcoholism. I'm very sensitive to those things. I know it's not a joke, but we are in soap opera land, okay? If you're on this channel, it's soap opera stuff, so it's just fun. Okay, so Nikki, who can't keep herself together, she had a full out, blown out drunk fest. Just prior to her drunk fest, which, by the way, she gets tipsy real quick, Victoria had come to the Newman office and basically said that her and Cole need to get Claire to wherever Jordan was. at the jail because Claire wanted to confront Jordan. And she basically was like, she wants to get there quick. Yeah. So Nikki was like, what? She just popped in out of nowhere. What? Are you kidding me? The hell that Jordan put me through? And Claire, are you nuts? And she's like, Mother, this is my child, and I vowed I was going to do the best for her. And okay, like, chime in. I know this is like seems very far-fetched, although I'm sure in reality these things from time to time occur. But if your baby had been basically taken away from you, this is real talk. And X amount of years, I think it was like 24, 25 years has passed. Wouldn't you, and let's, again, backtrack. Let's say they did something to you which wasn't so nice, knowing that you're the parent, but you didn't know this, and then you find out, and wouldn't you want to try and develop a relationship with that child? Or would you just cut them off and as though they don't exist? I'm curious. If I was Victoria, I don't think I could have turned a blind eye. I'm not the biggest Victoria fan whatsoever, but I personally don't think I could turn a blind eye. I think that I would want to do the best that I could in order to make up for some of the lost time and show that child's love that they never knew about. Again, just me. So, Nikki's whole, oh, what the hell? Yeah, I like that's it's your granddaughter, just saying. And so Victor, he basically buckles and he says, fine, I'll do whatever, help you all out, whatever. So Nikki's like, oh, well then. Okay, and she just toddles off to her office. She pulls out a flask that was, I guess, in her desk. And I don't know how full that thing was, but it was like the never ending flask. And she was like, go, 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 go. Before you know it, she's staggering all over there. But prior to her staggering, Victor had come to the door, brap, brap, brap. It was locked. Nikki, are you in there? Nikki. She doesn't say a word. And then eventually, she's like instantly drunk. She goes over to the club and she can barely stand up. She's like, thankfully the staircase was there because she just like almost collapsed on the thing. And Nick was there. He was at the bar. Didn't see his mother. Again, far-fetched. But Lauren, she comes through that revolving door to find Nikki, again, staggering all over the place. And she offers to help her. And she gets a room at the club. Well, they're up in the room. Nikki's phone rings. She asks Lauren to answer it. It's Victor, and Lauren's like, don't you think that's going to be kind of weird? She's like, no, just say that you're with me and, blah, 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 and whatnot. So Lauren does that. And basically the way she's responding, it kind of alludes that there's more to this story. So Victor's like, Lauren, has Nikki been drinking? And she's like, why, yes, she is. And he's like, keep an eye on her. Nikki eventually falls asleep. She wakes up. Lauren is not there, but there's this strange man sitting down at the desk. where you see the back of his head. Turns out it's the sponsor. And he said Lauren had called him and he went over and they switched places. And so he was watching Nikki. And yeah. Well, Victor ends up coming to the door at some point in time. And basically, the gig is up. Poor Nikki. Nikki. You need more than an AA meeting. Like, you need some serious assistance. Just putting it out there. Speaking of putting it out there, and we'll get back to Claire and whatnot, but speaking of putting it out there, scene filler was Phyllis and Cricket. I don't even know why we're talking about them, but again, it was a scene filler. So basically, Phyllis sees Cricket coming at Society. She says, I'm buying you your drinks. And they have a little conversation. Phyllis allegedly apologizes for her behavior and the things that she has said, and that she's a changed woman, and she vowed to her kids she'd be a changed woman, and Danny, and whatnot. Well, Cricket is like, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, basically. But then Cricket, she ends up telling Phyllis, oh yeah, Danny and I are going away this weekend to blah, 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 blah. She just like verbal diarrhea tells everything. So that gives Phyllis some sort of ammunition. And I'm sure that's what's going to come up this week. Just saying. Okay, so that was the scene filler. Yeah. So back to Claire and Victoria and Cole. Which, by the way, Cole had seen Ashley at the coffee house, and they had a few words, and that's when Victoria had walked in, and it was just like old times, jealousy, whatnot. So Ashley leaves because she knows that there's some sort of personal problem, but of course she doesn't know what it is, but she ends up leaving. So Victoria and Cole and Claire, they end up at the jail where Jordan is, and story short, Claire confronts Jordan saying basically, you're a horrible person, I can't believe you did all this, and you groomed me and whatnot. And Jordan is like, I'm the only one that loves you, and Jordan, like, you're crazy. Like, something is not all together there with you, Jordan. Because at the end of it, she was just like, I've got more in store, just wait. While she's getting pulled back by, a police, I think she was a police escort, but like, you're telling this information and like nothing's being done. Oh, okay. Sorry. Doesn't make any sense. So Claire is back with Victoria and Cole, and all is well with the world for now. All right. Who should we talk about next? Okay, we're gonna like speed this along. Basically, Devon and Billy are at loggerheads at Chancellor Winters. But Billy wants to put on his big boy pants and bring down like the wrath on Devon, and Devon is not having it. So just then, Chelsea and Abby come in stone cold dressed about how they're going to Sharon's launch party. And that, hey, we should double date, that kind of thing. So it was awkward. Awkward, to say the least. They end up at Neil's Jazz Lounge where this is taking place. And yeah, they were kind of taking some jabs at one another, and just wasn't good. Who spoke to Chelsea? I'm trying to remember. Somebody spoke to Chelsea. I think it was Jack, because he wanted to know, truthfully speaking, how is Billy handling it being over at Chancellor Winters? And Chelsea gave her 2 cents, and Jack was like, okay. I don't know. It's not gonna be a pretty sight. Like, this. It's just not gonna be pretty. So we're gonna see where that one goes. Let's see. Let me put my own scene filler in again with, should we name their names? Sally Spectra and Adam Newman. Like, what? Again, Sally, we're no longer, besties. Like, it can't happen. No. Now that you are, in theory, full-fledged dating Adam again, where you claim that, let's see where this goes. Okay, you end up at the Sharon's launch party with him, stone cold dressed, and you're just gonna see where it goes. You guys are walking hand in hand. Like, poor Nicholas is sitting back going, he's gonna hurt her, and I wish that wouldn't happen, but he's gonna hurt her, and just was not good. So Sally, you ended up in the bed hitting the skins with Adam, and you wanted it, and that's basically what happened. And yeah, I can't talk about you anymore. Not right now. I'm very upset with you. I'm very upset. Okay, lastly, I think it's lastly. We're going to make it lastly. Back to the launch party with Sharon. Sharon ends up naming the company Cassidy One Technology. Or no, Cassidy First Technology. She had a 1 in the logo. Cassidy First Technology, which was named after Cassie, her daughter that passed away. Which I thought to myself, the amount of times over the years since Cassie passed where they have honored her memory, like, to me, has been really nice. And it's just a testament to Cameron Grimes, her acting ability. Like, all those years ago, her playing Cassie, and then all these years later playing Mariah, like, she has done a bang on job, like, phenomenal. And I always remember that when Cassie passed away, like, to me, that was like, and it's going to sound weird, but it was like the best death scene, if you will, that I'd ever seen. Like, it was, I remember shedding a tear. It was that believable. So yes, she has named the company Cassidy First Technology, and I kind of like the name. I kind of like it. Nick was, kind of like somewhat boo-hooing inwardly, mind you. And the two of them shared like a nice little, hug put him there, pal, type thing. Now, I said that I don't think that him and Sharon will probably end up back together. But man, I'm a little confused because the conversation Sharon had with Sally kind of would dictate that maybe they're going to get back together. And even Adam saying, Sharon is like your one true love type of thing. Like, I don't know. I'm a little confused. So we're going to see if my first prediction actually comes true, or me changing it to Nick and Lily, if that might come true. Heck, at this point, who knows? Anything could happen. So that's pretty much how the week ended. I know there was probably some stuff that I probably forgot. Again, wasn't newsworthy, or, as I said, it's the nature of the beast. So if you stuck around to the end of this video, I'm so grateful. You know I appreciate your time. You know I love you lots. And we're going to see where next week is going to go. Hopefully it's not a sleepy week. Hopefully there's, some jokes, some real, guffaws, if you will. Something. And yeah, let's just see where this bumpy ride takes us. And again, if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so awesome if you hit that like and subscribe button and share the video. So once again, I really enjoyed myself, and we're just going to see what happens. Until next time, guys. Bye.